friend. Welcome to the Andy Special, a podcast about community with entrepreneurs who create spaces for it to thrive. I'm your host, Ashley Chonka, and I'm excited to share with you the voices of those who do the everyday work of building community. Today with me, I have Shaina Pratte, a realtor from Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. Hi, Shaina. It's great to see you today.
It is great to be here.
Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, so I have kind of an interesting background. I left home very early. I was 14, and it left me with quite a few challenges through my teens into my early 20s. And it was a struggle trying to kind of find what I wanted to do and how to make my life successful and to find freedom and the ability to maximize my potential. So after a lot of hard times, I wanted to go back to school. And so I needed to work to pay the rent because I didn't have anyone supporting me, no family, nothing that I could fall back on. And I realized that I could clean part-time and have the flexibility to go to school. And so that's what I did. I started out with like 4 jobs and grew a cleaning company. Actually, I started working for other people to figure out how I wanted to do it. And then grew my cleaning company and was able to get my associate's degree that way. And then just as I was matriculating, Drexel had a 2-year PA program if you had your associates at the time, which has long since been gone, which I was able to get into, and I just needed a couple more credits. And while I was getting those credits, I found out that I was pregnant, and it was not going to work out between the father and I. So cleaning also gave me the flexibility to be a single mom, because as a single mom with no support, you were always having to go pick your kid up, going to doctor's appointments, all these things that just do not work for a normal 9-to-5 job. So at this point, I've been an entrepreneur most of my life. So yeah, I did that. I doubled down, built my cleaning career, and then that gave me the ability so I didn't bring in the real estate part of it. Before I went to college and during the time frame right before I got pregnant, I was going to meetings to become a real estate investor. And I had a partner, and we were looking for homes. We were looking for multi-unit homes at the time. And when I got pregnant, that kind of went off to the side, and then we circled back to it. So around the time my daughter was 5, I was able to find, at this time, the housing crash was it had come up off of its lowest point. And we were able to find an estate sale house that I was supposed to flip with my partner. And instead of flipping it, I bought my partner out. And so once I had my footing with my daughter being a little bit older, I had a home, I was able to focus on becoming a realtor. And I had always paid attention to the real estate market. I love the way that the market ebbs and flows. It's a sustainability for financial and a necessity for life. And cleaning people's homes, I've always understood how people live, what they want, what they strive for, and how to make a house flow nice. So I was able to pull all of those things together to get my real estate license and start a career in real estate. And here I am.
Wow, that's quite a background. How long would you say you've been an entrepreneur for? How many years?
I started my cleaning company when I was 21, and I'm 47. So 26 years?
Wow. That's like almost as long as I've been alive. That's awesome. I am really proud of you and how you're able to make your way to where you are now.
Thank you.
So when it comes to the realtor business, and I guess we could also talk about this with the cleaning business, what is it that you wish you knew when you started?
So When I started my cleaning company and as an entrepreneur just in life in general, even when I left home at 14, I had that attitude that like I can take on the world and do anything and everything's going to be perfect and work itself out and it's not going to take any work. It'll just work out because I'm going to do it. And I didn't realize that it really takes time and a lot of effort to make anything in business successful. When you hear about those people, they go into real estate and they're millionaires the next couple of years. It's very rare. Same with cleaners. You hear about, people who started a cleaning company and then they've got chains all over the place within a couple of years. Yes, it happens, but very rare. It really takes a lot of determination, motivation, and just steady work getting to where your goals are. So, just that patience and success comes out of that. And so, for me, what I wish I had known is that it's really important to have that patience and not to give up. And Tony Robbins, one of my favorite lines is, and I don't say it right at this point, but I'm going to paraphrase it, is Tony Robbins said that problems are opportunities packaged as a challenge. And what you need to do is find a better set of problems because each challenge brings another success when you get to the end of it. So my goal is, always to find the better problems and then just not give up, and then my other favorite saying is the only failure is giving up. And then the second thing that I wish I had known when I first started was that you can't make somebody like you. You can't make somebody be who you expect them to be. You can't make somebody feel how you want them to feel. Sometimes there are just people that you are not going to work with. And instead of trying to make it happen, you just need to go around them. You go around the roadblocks and find where you fit in and what path opens up for you. Spend a lot of time hitting brick walls trying to make them move.
Yeah, I think that's a great lesson, that you can't make everyone like you, especially if you're a person who's like a people pleaser and you're really trying to make that, that pleasantry a big part of who you are. And sometimes it just doesn't work out that way.
Right. Sometimes people will never give you the respect that you deserve.
I think what's really important is knowing that you have the respect that you deserve for yourself.
And knowing when it's time to move on.
Cut that,
the baggage. Cut the baggage.
Take the garbage out.
Yes. Take what you need, leave the rest. Another one of my sayings that I like.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. So the biggest focus of this podcast is community and how we all connect with each other and build it up. And so my next question is, what does the word community mean to you?
And so I find this question very challenging because it has so many layers. Community has always been one of my top priorities, and I have always done community work. And I've always struggled with community at the same time. So I'll start with what the struggles are that I see in community, and then I'll talk about what community work I have done. And that is that, we as human beings want to connect, but then we also segregate ourselves. And we have a hard time letting go of what I was talking about, the expectations that we want from other people and our inner desires, and then we clash and don't allow the other person to be themselves. And it brings community down. And so what I would love to see is that we go back to where we talk to our neighbors. We can go to our neighbors for a cup of sugar. I can go knock on the doors down the street and they're not going to go running and call the cops. And that we accept people with mental illness, that we accept families that have children that are not exactly the same as their children, or that financial issues, people who are rich and poor are able to work together and their children don't separate themselves. all those issues that lead to bullying and our anger and all these things, I would love to see them resolve. Is it reality? No. So again, community is a hard thing because I've seen people come together and do all of those things. And then I've seen lots of other strife in community. So for me, I am one person. I can work with others. I always find somewhere to work and help. And that started when I was very young, before I went to college, in my late teens, early 20s, I was working with addicts. And I even would go into the prisons and try and help addicts and stuff back then. And then while I was in college, I was president of the Honor Society, and I tried to get them to allow me to go down to Philly and feed the homeless. They didn't fall for it, but I did everything that I could within that organization to try and make life better for others while doing all the things they wanted me to do on campus. Then, I lose track of all the things that I've done. I started the science community. Anyway, in Phoenixville, I started with the arts, as you know. I joined the Firebird committee that led to me hosting the art festival. I've done some community work around here. It's been challenging because I'm a single mom running the two businesses, and so I'm thinking about getting back into working with homeless and stuff, some of the less fortunate, and bringing the real estate into it. So there are a lot of great organizations. Like there's an organization in Pottstown that supports first-time home buyers who need help with building their homes up, and they'll give them money to fix the exterior of their home or whatever. And I'd like to start doing some fundraising for them and stuff. So I'm just one person. And I try to acknowledge all of this stuff and do what I can to mend that societal, what's the word, disarray? Rift. Yeah, mend that rift in society. I mean, we live in a very nice area, but challenges are always there between people.
Is there anything specific with the challenges that you see in Phoenixville?
That's a good question. It's challenging because I've had challenges in Phoenixville because I am so much of an A-type personality and I come from the city. And in the city we would just bond together and really, really hash it out to try and help people. And here there's a struggle of competition to see who can help most. And I struggle with that because, like I said, I came from the city where they need help a lot. So I feel like here it's almost more the working together challenge versus the helping the community challenge. There's so many people who want to help, but there's too much competition within those people, if that makes sense.
Do you have any ideas for easing the competition?
No, I'm an A-type personality. I'll just go my own route. I mean, honestly, I don't want to fight with anybody anymore. Like I said, go around them. And I'll keep trying until I find the path that fits me.
You just know what's best for yourself.
Yeah, and I've spent too much time trying to do that. And it doesn't enable me to help the population any better if I'm fighting with somebody about how to do it. So if I can find a way to make a mark, then I do.
I think you already have.
Thank you.
Yeah, I went to that art festival, and I thought it was amazing that you hosted the entire thing.
Henrik and I, but yeah, it was a lot of work.
Yeah, I was thinking about that piece of art that everyone was kind of going at. I mean, mostly kids, but I just thought it was so awesome that everyone was putting their own little impression onto it.
That is something. So I started doing the festival last year. Henrik hosted it for the first 3, and he started doing the community painting. So there's quite a few of them, and it's a great project. And Henrik, I don't know if you know who he is. He's the creator of the Firebird Festival.
Yeah, I went and helped like a couple of times, like on the Saturdays, trying to pull apart the wood that would be used for it, and how he was moving all around, like making cables on the fly.
The nice thing that I like about the artist community that I've been working in with Henrik and the rest of them is the unity. When we come together for the Firebird, when we're pulling those nails, there's unity there. It's like a little family. And then with the art festival, for me, the important part of the art festival is that all the vendors do well and that there is enough entertainment to bring everybody and everybody enjoys themselves. And it's nice to be able to walk down the street, see a big crowd, see them watching the entertainment, and then go to the vendors and them say, yeah, we had an excellent show. We almost sold out, or we sold out, or, and then the next time I put it out, hey, we're having the festival, everybody's like, yes, I want to do it. That to me is community successfully.
Yeah, each year it's building upon the year before.
Yes.
It's not like a one and done thing. It's something that keeps going, years, decades, hopefully.
Hopefully. And it has a lot of potential. Eventually we'd like to expand down to the 100 block. The hard part is we're not a 501c yet. So we have to work on that so that we can get donors or sponsors so that we can pay for real entertainers. I mean, I'd like to have a stilt walker, but a stilt walker's insurance is very expensive. So it would cost us a lot. So getting those finances to balance is a challenge, but we're working on it.
I never thought about the insurance it would take for someone to be a stilt walker. I mean, every time I see it, I think that they're about to fall, but...
And they do sometimes. Yeah, no, their insurance is very, very costly. And often they'll drive from, like, New York to go to these shows.
Wow, I'm surprised that the insurance is on the people who are paying for the event and not for the stilt walker themselves.
It is the stilt walker. The stilt walker carries their own insurance. We carry our own insurance. But the stilt walker will charge a lot of money to come to the event. For the event organizers need to pay them a lot of money for them to come. And being that it's, we're getting our funds from the vendors, it's a challenge to get to that new level of being able to get that high level of entertainment.
Okay. So for the 501c, is that for the art festival or the Firebird Festival?
The Firebird is under the JCs, which is a 501c. The art festival is kind of up in the air. Is it under the Firebird? Last year we were under the JCs. This year we were not. Like, we don't know where we're going with it yet.
What is a JC?
The JCs is an organization, it's national, that supports, in Phoenixville they support a lot of local organizations, but their primary goal, I believe, is to help young individuals grow into themselves. I believe they do some college funding and stuff. Their office is right on Gay Street, so we have a chapter in Phoenixville, and they sponsor a lot of events.
Wow, that's great. Can you talk a little bit more about the Firebird Festival? Because sure. I don't think that a lot of people listening will know what it is.
Sure. The Firebird Festival was started, I think we're going into it's either the 19th or 20th year. So that was started by Henrik many years ago, and where the police station in Phoenixville is, it was just a small fire. I think it was like 10 feet. So they would build, they would get wooden pallets and build a bird. It moved from there to where Root Down Brewery is, to Friendship Field, and now we're in Veterans Park. Through those years, we got up to building something like a 30-foot bird, phoenix, out of wooden pallets. So Henrik will spend from September till the day of the event, which is the second Saturday of December. He will spend every weekend building this. Right now we're at 20 feet, but it was up to 30-foot bird, in some design that has been made by a random person who has submitted a design that we will build. So they bring in a model, we agree on it, and then we build that into this 30-foot bird. And every week people come down, and there's usually lunch for the volunteers, pulling nails, sawing, putting it all together. Often we have a Thanksgiving dinner on the bird somehow, which is kind of fun. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. And then we host this ginormous event where we get like 10,000 people. Where it starts with music and vendors, and then we have fire dancers, and we have a drum circle, and we have music, and that goes on for like an hour or so, and then we light the bird. And then we all dance in front of the bird, and the fire dancers are doing their spinning and fire spinners and all that stuff in front of the bird with the music and the drums. And then we just watch the bird burn for hours. It's a lot of fun.
And like, while all this is happening, like, the bird is spinning too, right?
Last year's model did have a spinning device on it. That is not an every year thing.
Okay, I thought that was
model.
I thought that was wild.
Yeah, that was Derek's design, and that was just last year. But each year we do have some sort of mechanical feature or some, one year we had light, eyes that lit up, and every year there's some little thing that gives it a spark.
A spark for the Firebird that's on fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was so cool when I first came to Phoenixville. I think it was like last year, and I met you then. Mm-hmm. Yeah, when you guys were telling me about it, I was like, oh, I've got to go check this out.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot of events like it in this. There's one, I think it's the Burning Man, and that's the other one I know of that's like it.
Wow. So we are talking about, community and all these other ways. Is there a way that you connect with it, like, in your own personal life that's not helping, like, the homeless?
What do you mean by connect personal?
Like, outside of your endeavors, like helping people find homes, maybe other things that you're interested in, like hobby-wise.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I have, like I said, I was on I don't know if I said that or not. Not only was the president of the Honor Society, I was a science major, and I started the science club.
Oh, yeah. Tell us more about that.
My girlfriend started the science club. I was vice president, and she was my best friend. And so, I'm at that point, NPR was doing live broadcasts. I think it was once a month on a Monday, where they would have Derek Pitts come out often and do an astronomy thing. And all these people would come with telescopes and throwing frisbees, and I met a bunch of people through that. And, and I've gotten to know them through the years. I've gone and done some bird walking with them, and like I'm always looking for right now with the art stuff. I'm doing an improv class on Monday. So one of the improv group that was at the art festival, he does a class on Monday, so I go to that. There's a poetry reading downtown that also one of the guys who did improv, he has a poetry reading on Sunday night in the Heartwood Park. So I go to that. I'm always like going to these things. Like I've done meetups, I've done dance groups, I've done all sorts of little things, and I like learning and growing and meeting new people and finding new challenges and finding new things to try. And
it's very exciting, to be able to keep alive that spark of curiosity throughout so many different aspects of your life. I am also a nerd for learning forever.
That's great. That's great.
Next, I want to move on to what advice you have for someone who is aspiring to be a realtor.
So being a realtor or any entrepreneur, it's challenging. You are always on the clock. If somebody calls you at 1 a.m, you are on the clock. You always have to present. You always have to be a salesperson. Like who you are is what you sell. particularly in real estate. And so you have to be able to manage that. And you need to be able to manage all the aspects of business, because it's not just sales, it's not just community, it's not just meeting people. It's making sure that you've done all of your research, your knowledge, put everything together, all your paperwork's together, it's sent to the right places, you've informed everybody. It's a lot. But it's got some great rewards. You, as we've talked about community, you get to be an essential part of community. You get to meet people early stages of their life, first-time home buyers, watch them have children. You get to help them as they grow, switch to a larger house. You get to help investors grow from being a first-time investor to having multiple homes, to watch them flip homes, to give people connections on how to do things. How do you find a roofer? How do you get an appraisal? What happens if your septic system isn't working? Those type of things. So you're kind of like pivotal in helping people figure their lives out as they go through life. And it's very rewarding to be able to be in somebody's life and get to know them at an intimate level like that. So again, I'll reiterate, it takes time. It's time, patience. You can be in the business for 20 years and you're still going to be learning. And it just takes time to get your footing, and it can get frustrating when you're doing so many things and it doesn't feel like it's paying off. So just, again, vigilance, patience, don't give up.
Well, that leads into my next question, which is, how do you motivate yourself when everything's tough and you're trying to manage all of these different things?
So, as I keep saying about problems, for me, I take them hard. And I take that step back and I feel my feelings, and it makes me more determined. So I feel my feelings, I go through it, and then I look for my solutions and I powerhouse to the next. Like I have these goals in mind and something inside of me can't let them go. Like I get upset, I get through it, and I push harder to get to my goals. So I don't need to do anything to make it happen. It's something in me that has a drive.
Wow. It's very interesting to hear, because when I'm feeling very, I guess maybe let down or frustrated, my first thing is to just go, fudge.
Yep.
And so I normally need to do something else to help me work through those feelings. Listen to music or do yoga or just some other activity that helps me move through what it is.
I mean, I guess I watch TV, but I feel my feelings and exactly that. I feel like, often will say, I'm never doing this again. I suck. I'm not doing it. And the next day I will be trying to figure out what went wrong, how to fix it, and how to do it better.
I admire you for that. One other thing, I was trying to make a playlist from different guests, and so is there any music that you listen to that pumps you up or anything?
So I listen to almost every genre of music minus opera, country. I think that's it. I don't listen to a lot of music, to be honest with you. I listen to audiobooks, NPR, and podcasts more. But when I'm angry, I'll listen to heavy metal.
Yes.
When I am feeling like I just want to break out and be free, I'll listen to the Grateful Dead, or stuff from the early 90s that I listened to. I really like my child's music. Some of what they're listening to now, but before they were listening to a lot of K-pop. And I really like I like dance music. One of my favorite things to do, by the way, is dancing. There's nothing freer than dancing. I just don't get the chance to do it as often as I used to. But anytime you want to reset, go into a club. They don't have them much anymore. Loud music and dancing totally resets your entire body. Anyway, so K-pop I like, hip-hop I like it all. if I hit the mood to listen to music, then I'm on a flow.
I'm really interested in knowing what your favorite heavy metal artist is.
Oh, that's tough. I mean, the first thing that came to mind, so when I was a teenager, it was Metallica. Definitely not Metallica now. I almost want to say Iron Maiden. But I mean, I really like King Diamond, Iron Maiden, Anthrax, all of them. Tool's big one too.
Do you like headbang while you're listening to them too?
I had DD in my head, and not anymore. I actually have done that since I found out I had DD, and it's not a good thing.
What is DD?
Degenerative disc disease.
Oh, okay.
It's a form of arthritis, but it's from overuse.
Oh, okay. I had no idea. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah. One of the great things cleaning did for me.
Well, we're nearing the end of the show now. Is there anything else that you would like our listeners to walk away with before we close out?
If you are driven and you want to make a change in the world, do it. Don't allow society, other people, or failure to determine what you want and what your success will be. Find yourself and do it.
Well, thank you very much for that. How can our listeners get in contact with you or connect with you if they're interested in buying a house or whatever?
So I'm with Coldwell Banker in Collegeville, and my phone number is 610-656-4835. You can reach me anytime on that number or email me at Shaina, SHAINA, sellshouses@gmail.com.
And for social media?
You can find me on Facebook at Shaina Pratte Realtor or at Shaina Pratte.
Okay, great. Thank you for being on the show today. It was very enlightening, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Thank you for having me. It's been a great pleasure.
Thank you for joining me for this episode of the Andy Special. You can follow the podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, or YouTube to be notified of new episodes and connect on socials at the Andy Special. Join me next week as I talk with Paula Fasciano, founder of Bakeability, a bakery which hires adults with disabilities who would otherwise not have a work opportunity after aging out of the education system. I'm your host, Ashley Chonka. Until next time, my friend.